Hello and welcome to our 30-minute live. Today is our last live for the month. It is Thursday, May 30th, and we are here live talking about VAWA Self-Petitions and what to do if you have a pending I-130 and your spouse becomes abusive. So come on in, invite your friends. I'm going live on Instagram right now, so everyone can join us today for this quick session, a quick snack. Let me give you all some tips and share some insights today to help anyone who is applying for a green card through family, especially through marriage. And right now, things are not moving the way that you expected, and you don't know your options on getting this green card. So this live is very important for you. So come on in. Thanks for the follow, Big Baby. This is on TikTok. Thanks for the follow and the shares. Let me get us on Instagram. VAWA Self-Petition. Feel free to ask your questions in this live. I'll be answering you one-on-one. And I'm going to talk about the VAWA Self-Petition process to understand your eligibility, the things you need to have. If you're considering filing a VAWA Self-Petition, this is very important to know so you can still get your green card, leave the abusive relationship, and find your freedom in the USA. All right? So invite your friends. Let me know where you're watching from. Right now, I am in Charlotte, North Carolina. We do help clients all over the USA, though. So it doesn't matter where you are. If you're an immigrant, you need a green card, I can help. VAWA Self-Petition Q&A. Okay. Did we invite our group members? Let's get our group members in on this live today as well. Even though I go live in the group already for our lifestyle lives, I just want everyone to hear this today because I actually had a consultation about it where we're talking about the options for self-petition after divorce. Right now in this live, I'm talking about the options for self-petition when you have a pending I-130. Like, is it possible? That's what a lot of you want to know. I'm going to share those details today, how to get started, what documents you need. Welcome. Those of you just joining. All right. Welcome. I'm Ify, USA immigration lawyer. I can help you in all 50 states. So if you're filing your green card application or you're looking for ways to stay in the USA legally, work, and avoid abusive relationships, reach out to me. My number is pinned in the comments for those of you on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook. Let me put that on Instagram. My number will be pinned in the comments. Thank you for being here. Joe and Kirk, give me a call if you have questions about your legal status or if you're going through any form of abuse. There are different types. Talked about that in my Facebook group yesterday and in my consultation today, but I'm going to still talk about it with you all here today because we can't get tired of saying this stuff. A lot of people don't know their options, and so they end up staying in an abusive situation for a very long period of time. I pinned it in the comments, so check it out, take a screenshot, give me a call. All right, so first things first, you need to understand what a VAWA self-petition is, and this is for any non-immigrant who has experienced abuse by their U.S. citizen relative or permanent resident relative. They could file to get their green card independently of this abusive relative, right? And in order to qualify, you just have to show that the relationship is legitimate, is real, and that you endured some extreme cruelty, abuse, whether it's financial verbal, emotional, physical abuse, you could qualify to get your green card regardless. Okay? I see some questions coming in, so I'm going to answer those as I get through the points that I have for you all today to let you know that you can file, even though you have a pending I-130, you can still file a self-petition once the relationship starts going south. Things aren't going the way it's supposed to, and everything is just going left. Okay. This question says, my I-45 was denied. Okay. Pending case status marked as held in abeyance in your FOIA. Okay, so are you switching from an I-130 to an I-360 to a VAWA, etc.? What's going on? Let us know more in the comments, because for those of you with a pending application, you could file an abeyance and continue that process with a self-petition. So just because you've already filed and it's already in process doesn't mean you can't switch to a self-petition, right? So spot 10, if you live in the USA and married to a permanent resident, you can file your petition, your family-based petition, but the adjustment of status process is going to take some time. All right, since sometime early this year, I'm not sure the exact month, or maybe it was last year actually, the F2A category, which is spouse of a permanent resident, became backlogged, and now you have to wait some time to adjust. But you could still get your green card. You could start with the I-130 process, which is proving your relationship is bona fide. Okay, this is also required for a self-petition as well. If you're going through the VAWA Self-Petition, you still need evidence of a bona fide relationship. All right? And so, can do that. Etc. says, I sent a request to hold an abeyance, but it shows denial, but FOIA results show on hold. I see. Well, we'll need to talk more about this in a consultation. Just give me a call, because we need to actually find out the status to know if you need to do another I-45. You might need to file another one. Because the FOIA results sometimes, and they actually sent you a denial letter. Sometimes there's confusions, but we just need to talk about this in more detail, because that's confusing for sure. All right. The purpose of the abeyance, guys, if you don't know what an abeyance is to request that the agency stops processing one part of the application until you're able to establish that you are qualified for a self-petition, meaning you've shown extreme abuse and you've shown bona fide relationship and you've shown that you're currently in the USA, because that's one of the requirements. If you're outside the USA and you're being abused by a US citizen or permanent resident, it's a little bit tricky, because one of the requirements is actually being physically present in the USA. Okay? So if you have those and you meet those requirements, you could definitely file a self-petition. All right? What if you can show video with your wife cheating? Dwayne, thanks for your question. Well, I get that question a lot, actually, because infidelity is really one of the signs of emotional abuse. If your spouse is cheating, you're most likely experiencing some form of emotional abuse alongside with that. So gaslighting, manipulation, something is going on. Or just even abandonment, because that's some form of abuse, right? So that will be the focus. If you show a video of your wife cheating, that wouldn't really, just infidelity on its own does not prove abuse. Okay. Besides, USCIS don't have any ability to watch videos. They don't. Their technology is, 2000 late. They don't watch videos or listen to recordings. They'll only read stuff. You can take screenshots and stuff like that. Okay. But thanks for that question, though. I do get that a lot, because people really, really want to prove that they're being abused, and you can do that in other ways. Okay, you can get a police report if it's physical abuse or any reason why you have to call the police. You can use your police report to show that you've gone through some things with this person, right? Or you can use a therapist's notes to do that as well. Okay. Okay, someone says, how do you submit and pay for I-485? Kev and Lean. How do you submit and pay for I-485? You need to file this by mail. Some USCIS applications you can actually file online, but the I-485 is one of those that you actually have to mail to USCIS. Depending on where you live, that will determine the address that you mail it to. Okay? And if you just see me for the first time, especially for you on TikTok, I'm Ify. I'm a USA immigration lawyer. Share this live and follow for daily tips. We come live twice a week on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. But I'm here in my Facebook group, always sharing tips and answering questions in our chat. So if you want daily one-on-ones with me, join our Facebook group. And you can check out our website as well for a free green card checklist to help you get started if you're just now getting started on your green card application. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm married to a green card holder. My visa has expired. I can't file till he's a citizen. Are you asking if you can't file or my visa has expired? Okay. So yes, if your visa has expired and your spouse is a permanent resident, that means you're out of status. And if you're out of status, you will need to have a U.S. citizen spouse in order for that to be waived. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to adjust. Yes. You can file the I-130. I said that to someone earlier. If you're married to a permanent resident or a U.S. citizen, you can file the I-130. That's not the adjustment. That's just proving the relationship is legit and that you will actually qualify for a green card. Okay? Tom Sweet, you can definitely ask. That's why we're here, to ask questions and answer your immigration questions about your green card. I'm also talking about the VAWA Self-Petition, but I'll keep on answering questions as I see them come up. Okay? Why was my case transferred to the National Benefits Center? I'm not sure. These days, they will transfer your case for different reasons. But if your case is still processing within the normal processing time, that's just going to be part of it. Just know that it's to help the case move faster. Because right now, they're really going fast with approvals. We've gotten like several work permits in the last month for all our April 1st cases. So it's really going pretty quickly. Okay. Medical RFE since June 2023. No response. What's the wait time for marriage-based green card? Ooh, that's a long one. So June 2023 is almost a year now. The normal processing time for marriage-based green card is around a year to a year and a half. Really just depends on several factors, right? But yeah, you should definitely contact the USCIS at this point. How long have you waited? Okay. Can I send both I-485 together, also including my medical exam at the same time? Yes, you can. If you're in the USA, you qualify to adjust your status, meaning you entered with a visa and your spouse is a U.S. citizen, or if you've already qualified for a waiver, then you can definitely adjust your status, file everything together. You probably have to put the fees separately, though, because I think that's a new thing they started since April. Separate fees, but it's going to be all together. Okay. I hope that helps you. Yura, thanks for asking. For those of you joining on Instagram, hello, welcome. T-Bar, thanks for being here. All right. So I know some of y'all are my clients on Instagram. On TikTok, I'm waiting on y'all. Book a call with me and ask your questions. What about y'all on Facebook and YouTube? Y'all always here just looking at me, and I'm looking at you. Why are you looking at me, dude? Ask me a question. Okay. Hey, can you get a green card from a green card holder? Yes, you can. Because if you're a relative of a green card holder, you can. Not every relative, though. I think it's spouse, child, under 21, right? Parents, you have to be U.S. citizens, file for your parents. Okay. How long does it take for them to update the sealed medical exam? It was received via mail since May. Someone actually asked a question before you, Jade. They sent theirs in June 2023 and they haven't heard anything. It really shouldn't take that long, but I think what's going on right now is they'll just ask you for the medical right as soon as you apply. They're not going to really wait till they're almost about to approve, because in the past, once they ask you for your medical, that means you're about to get approved. But now that doesn't seem to be the case. So it's best to send your medical with the whole thing, like Euro's asking. Okay. Where am I from? I'm from Nigeria originally. Right now, I am in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I help clients all over the USA. I also went through this immigration process like a lot of you. I was telling one of my clients today during a call, like, I totally get it, okay, when it comes to waiting for work permits, trying to figure out ways to stay in status and all of that stuff. I was like, I get it. And I went through all of this with my family. The only blessing I had was I was much younger, so the effect of not having a work permit was not so heavy on me, but I bet it was heavy on my parents and my mom and everyone else in my family going through all of that. So it's definitely not easy for immigrants, but if you qualify for something, just go for it. Someone asked earlier, how do I get a work permit? And that's really a common question. But, you can't just apply for a work permit without having a relative or some other way or some other petition, some other application that's pending, right? Except as a work visa, of which you need an employer. So that's how you get work permit in the USA. Okay. I'm scrolling up to see if there are more questions here on TikTok. I think I may have missed some, but if I did, please ask your questions again. I'm here for a few more minutes. I'm talking about how to file your VAWA Self-Petition when you have a pending I-130, and essentially discussing different types of abuse that will qualify. So if you have questions about that, feel free to ask, or anything else relating to getting your green card overall. All right. Thank you. Thank you. How do you apply for work visa? So for work visa, there are really different types of work visas. You would have to meet the criteria if it's the educational criteria, or if it's an unskilled type of position, you would need to have an employer, someone who has hired you and applied for an I-140 petition. So with family-based is I-130. With employment-based is going to be I-140. Okay. With that petition, they'll also show that they can pay for your employment, all right, and that you qualify, you're not out of status. Now, if you're in the USA and you've overstayed, that may be a whole different conversation, all right? Because the only category that will allow you to overstay and still forgive is family-based. And if you're looking for a work base, you need to be applying outside the USA or just somewhere else. Or I've heard that they will let you look for a job if you're coming on a B1, B2, which is a tourist visa. That's the most common type of visa people come in with. If you come in as a tourist, you'd be able to look for a job and find a job while you're here, but you're not going to be able to actually start working on a B1, B2 because that's not a work visa. That's a temporary visa. All right. So keep that in mind while you're applying to start working in the USA. And if you work unauthorized, meaning you don't have a work permit and you just work for a family member at their shop or do something like that, that could affect you down the line. The best thing is to disclose that type of work if it happened, because misrepresenting or hiding it will also affect you. So there's no win-win. You just have to either not work, try to get a work permit, or if you did work, just disclose that. And usually you get forgiveness, especially if you're filing a family-based application, right? There's usually forgiveness for those. Hardship is going to cause extreme hardship to your U.S. citizen relative if you are deported for any type of violation, whether it's overstay, whether it's working unauthorized, all that type of stuff, right? So just keep in mind that your I-130 should be pending if you want to continue this process without filing self-petition. You should have your I-130 pending. But if your spouse somehow withdraws that petition and is no longer pending, your I-45 will be denied automatically. So you need to have something always pending. This is why the whole abeyance process exists, to help people make sure their stuff is still pending. Because if your abusive spouse withdraws the I-130 or maybe gets denied before you're able to go for an interview or something, and you don't have a pending petition, they'll send you that letter that everybody hates that says you have 33 days to leave the USA. No one likes that letter, and I get people freaking out. They call me. I'm like, well, this is standard language. Essentially, they're saying you don't have a petition, your spouse has withdrawn the application, so now you need to essentially leave the USA because you're out of status, right? That's what the letter is about. But it's not, it doesn't mean you're not going to be deported right away. If you don't leave, you can be deportable, meaning if you get picked up at any point, maybe you could get deported. But at that point in time, nobody's coming to your house to come and deport you, right? So keep that in mind. Hello, those of you on Instagram, thanks for joining. Make sure you share this live with your friends. We'll let them know we're talking about VAWA Self-Petitions. We're discussing USA immigration and how to get your green card to live in the USA. All right, I'm also answering questions that I see popping up live, so feel free to ask your questions live. All right. Okay, thanks. So what if I have 3 years of marriage? Can I automatically have my nationality? No. Black and proud. Thanks for the question, but no. Seen it quite a number of times on Instagram, or was it TikTok? Somewhere in my comments, someone's asked that before, if it's automatic once I'm married to a U.S. citizen, and no, it's not automatic. You have to actually apply and qualify. Just being married to a U.S. citizen means you're eligible, but it doesn't mean you qualify, because you might be inadmissible in some way or another. Maybe you had some misrepresentation, you committed some crimes. We have to know that stuff before you actually get the green card, okay? So it's not automatic, all right? U.S. citizen spouse is no longer showing interest after 4 months of marriage. What's the next step to take? And what's the next step to remarry? What will happen to the 4 months of marriage? Girl boss, nothing will happen to the 4 months of marriage. It's just what it is. If you have been somehow abused by this U.S. citizen spouse that is now refusing to help, you may qualify for a self-petition, but we'll have to evaluate that possibility because it's just been 4 months. How long did you guys know each other before you got married? Like, what's the circumstances of the whole thing? And when you say they're no longer interested, are they like threatening you to send you back to your country, or are they just like, what does that even mean? Like, it's vague. So let's have a conversation. I did pin my number in the comments. Oh, that was just on Instagram. Let me pin that on TikTok so you can give me a call. If you're going through that right now, definitely need to leave it seems like you all are ready to actually just end it at this point. And sometimes not all marital problems will be eligible for VAWA Self-Petition. So just keep that in mind. Marriages do fall apart. It is quite part of the whole process, okay? But you have to experience extreme cruelty in form of verbal abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, financial abuse. That's the one that a lot of people seem to forget. Because when I was talking to the client today for the consultation, he was like, oh no, my spouse is really good. No issues, just divorced, blah, blah. So I asked about the financial part. And then I was like, oh, well, when it comes to that one, I'm like, well, you've been abused, okay? Because you opened multiple accounts. your money was squandered and spent, and you're telling me that you've been abused. So that was how we ended up in that scenario, because we had that conversation. So you need to know what qualifies as abuse if you can actually file for something. Okay. All right. If my husband is in Mexico waiting for I-601, can he get humanitarian parole? I am suffering financially. Oh man, Jenny, why did your husband go to Mexico to wait for the I-601? That's definitely not something I would encourage any of my clients to do. Whenever we have I-601As for people who entered without a visa, we actually process the I-601A in the USA. Make sure it's approved before you go back to Mexico to do any of that. Okay, so let me pin that in the comments, my number. It's just, I think on TikTok it's just a little bit more challenging to write in the comments. So that's why I'm always like not doing it first. So let's do it. Let's see. 919. But if you're on TikTok, guys, it's in my bio as well. If you follow me and click on the right side, I think you'll see it in the bio. 919-925-2295. Okay. Very cool. I remember when I first started doing this, guys. This was many years ago. I started with my own personal cell phone number because I was like, I must do this. I wasn't going to wait. And then later on, I got this 919 number, one of my very first numbers that I got. So thank you all for those of you who have saved it and have called me on this number. It's all a blessing to me to finally be here, helping you all, answering your questions. Just a girl like you all, just a Nigerian girl that just found myself in the USA, thankfully, and now I'm here. Okay, went to law school, did the whole thing, and I'm here. So I appreciate you all. Very thankful, and yeah. More questions coming in. How much more time do I have? Let's see. I think my consults will be soon. So we'll be here till it's a few more minutes to the consultation. But yeah, this question says, okay, so I have a few more minutes. This one says, there's a guy who wants me to give him 2 kids before he marries me to give me a green card. What? Maria, are you asking a question or what's going on? He wants you to give him 2 kids. What does that even mean? Please don't give anybody kids. That's your body. You're gonna get pregnant twice. See what's gonna happen. Don't do it. Don't marry anybody. Like, just marry people out of love, okay? And then if they're a U.S. citizen or permanent resident, then you can apply for a green card. Don't do trade by barter with your body. That doesn't make sense. Hi, I got married outside the U.S. last July. Now I'm in the U.S. on a tourist visa. Can I do adjustment of status? Husband's a U.S. citizen. Potentially, you could. Depends on the circumstances surrounding your entry. Ixa. How do you say your name? Did I say it right? Hey, thank you. Depending on the circumstances surrounding your entry, you may be able to adjust, or there might be issues with misrepresentation, because I'm not sure what you said when you were entering. You were already married, so when you entered, did they ask you, like, who are you coming to see, or what happened? You know? So let me know more. Okay, Tasha, the question pertaining to K1 visa. Where's that question? Let me see. Yeah, I can answer questions pertaining to K1 visas. For those of you that don't know, K1 is for those who are engaged to a U.S. citizen and they want to come into the USA to get married and then apply for their green card. So it's an extra step compared to those who are already married and then just apply for their green card, right? So hope that helps. I filed I-130 for my wife since May 2022. It has not yet been approved. What's the issue? What That's 2 years. So it should not take that long, Khadibia. It shouldn't take that long. Reach out to me. Let's talk about options on when a case is really out of processing time. Because at this point, you need to sue the USCIS. Because I-130s are like the first step. The easiest step is just about the relationship. Like the relationship is legit or not. Relation takes 2 years. Except something is missing somewhere. They've lost your file, something. Yasmin, I hope you got my number. Let me reply you here again. Yasmin, thank you very much. I actually did talk to a Yasmin this week. So interesting. Okay, Yasmin, 919-925-2295. Okay, let me see what my consult is about today. I'll tell you all about that. Okay, I'm just seeing all these notes here, but anyways, just make sure that you all are documenting any form of abuse that you're going through, taking screenshots, saving any type of evidence that you have, writing your journal, because you might not remember something about abuse and the brain. We're going to block it out because it's not pleasant. You just don't want to remember that. So, make good notes. Just document the whole thing and prepare yourself, because at the end of the day, it's only your evidence that's going to save you. All right. I got this approval notice yesterday. I'm just keeping it together because I'm still yet to call the client. And I don't even know if she's watching right now. I'm finna call you because we just got her I-360 approval yesterday. And I've just been beside myself because we started this since 2021. Okay. It was a battle and we won. You just have to bring all your evidence together. There's really no magic about it. I'll put your evidence together. In fact, the only magic is just basically praying to God that everything that you have put together will be convincing enough and you can get what you deserve, because you should not be staying in an abusive relationship just to get your green card. Okay. So don't forget to grab your free green card checklist from my website, marriagegreencard.us. Pretty easy. If you're about to start this process, just start from there. That will help you understand what's needed for the petition. Let me see this real quick before we end for today, what my consult is about right now. Do you have any clients with F2A? I sent my paperwork back in 2022. I haven't heard from them. I do have one client currently with F2A. The spouse is actually eligible for citizenship in July, so hopefully that will change soon. But with that case, let me see. What's this one? Isn't that the same person? With that case, okay. Yeah, what was I saying about the F2A? Oh yeah, with that case, it's still pending, and that was since 2021 actually. But they've had an interview, still pending in the F2A category. Okay. Do you need a waiver if you have DACA? Yes. If you haven't had lawful entry, you will need a waiver. Okay. So this one is just a standard green card case. Wants to know about how to get a green card for spouse. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's it. Let me see if my consult is already started. Thanks for those of you who joined on Instagram. I'll see you all again every Tuesday and Thursday in the afternoons. Be here during lunchtime, just answering questions and chilling with y'all. Yesterday in my group, I think I had my lunch or at some point, but sometimes I might have my lunch because honestly, I'd be starving sometimes. So, but today, I hope that you got some value and that I'll see you all in my DMs, giving me a call, signing up for some cases, okay? because that's how we get everything moving for you all. For everyone, it's such a blessing to have this opportunity to do what I do. So thankful for you all who support us and come here every time we're live. Okay? All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Processing time for work permits really just depends. Since December till now, it's been 5 months. Potentially, you get it soon, but the ones I applied for in April came this month. So it really just depends. And these people don't even live in Charlotte. I forgot where they live. I think one of them was in Texas, and the other one was in maybe Virginia. I'm not sure, but it really just depends on your location. But December till now is still within the time. It could be 1 month, 6 months, 12 months. All right. Really depends. Okay. All right. Well, let me know once the person gets here, because so I can get off this. Have I ever sued USCIS? Yes, I have. But one thing about those lawsuits is that it doesn't really ever, before it gets too far, they end up giving you what you need. So, yes. Jack, Steve, yes. What is the processing time for work permits applied since December? It's the same one. All right. Oh, you were told you don't need a waiver. For the DACA, you might need a waiver if you haven't. Do you have an I-131 travel permit? Did you leave and come back in? Like, what happened? Wait time for spousal visa could really be anywhere from a year to 2 years. Okay. Denied VAWA with pending affirmative asylum. I'm not sure I understand that question, etc. Okay, you have affirmative asylum, and then you also filed for VAWA Self-Petition. Tell me more. And I'm waiting to see when the consults will be here. So, because it's already started, we'll usually have some grace period. If this person doesn't show up, we're gonna have to either reschedule or just. So let me know, Patricia. Also, I need to call this lady. What up? Almost. I mean, yeah, kind of. I'm just answering questions. I do. My person is not here yet, so yeah. Oh yeah, no. Same thing. Okay. Okay, so if you didn't get your I-131, then you definitely need a waiver because you did not waive the whole unlawful entry thing. So that's the whole thing. The unlawful entry that happened when you were younger, when you entered without a visa, is what's the issue now. Okay. Can you apply for marriage-based green card with the USC if I-140 is filed through EB3, I-45 no filed? Yes, you can apply for whatever you qualify for. So if you have a pending I-140 and now you're married to a U.S. citizen, apply for an I-130. Completely different things. So it won't even, just different paths. Okay. So do that. I'm from the UK. My background is clean. Should I get married on U.S. soil? Sure. I mean, depends. Okay. It really depends. If you're married abroad, it will still work for a marriage-based green card. But if you're already in the USA, clean background, great, because they do check your background for you. Just definitely do it. Okay. Well, it seems like my consult's going to be a no-show. But I'll probably see if we can reschedule this. Let's see what happens. Okay. I do VAWA. Sadiq, that's what we're talking about today. VAWA Self-Petition. And how to actually apply if you have a pending I-130, switching from I-130 to self-petition. That's what I talked about today. So you can check it out on my pages on Facebook, YouTube, but if you give us a call, you'll learn more about if you qualify, if you're an immigrant, a non-U.S. citizen, you're married to a citizen going through abuse, we could help you. If you already have your green card going through abuse, it's a whole different process. We could definitely help you with that as well, but just give us a call first so we can know exactly what the issue is. Each family is different. Each type of abuse is different. I-130 has been canceled. Definitely need to speak to us ASAP, because with that being said, if your I-130 is canceled, your I-485 and everything else, work permit, everything is canceled. So that's an issue for sure. 3 years ago, I was at, okay, this is a short. You were sometimes to psych ward for depression. I didn't mention on your I-693. Can I get a green card? Oh, okay. Psych ward, depression. For the medical admission, I don't know if is, oh, 1 second. For medical admission, I'm not sure if just being admitted to the psych ward for depression would count. I think it has to be more extreme than that. You do have to disclose everything though. So the fact that you didn't disclose might be the actual issue. When it comes to immigration, not disclosing things is not advisable. Make sure you disclose. Don't over disclose. This is why you need an attorney to tell you what is appropriate to say and when it's okay to just be like, I don't know. And, there is a Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. So you don't really have to incriminate yourself, but you just should not lie, okay? That's what I can say about that. But yeah, do I need to do anything before marriage to start gathering proof of bona fide marriage? Jabs, before marriage, if you had a good relationship and you were traveling, definitely put evidence of that together. But for the most part, it's evidence of bona fide marriage. So you do need to be married to have some things like your lease together. Some people don't live together until they're married. But if you're living together before you were married, then you have your lease. It's just essentially evidence to show how you're building your future together. That's what they're looking for. Okay. My husband has been in the USA, no deportation, with kids together. Can he apply for citizenship? Alba, no ma'am. He needs to apply for his green card first. Okay? So just because he's been in the USA this whole time, he can't just apply for citizenship. Okay? All right. Well, I need to go now to the consults. I think they made it just on time because we have our grace period, but that's over now. So, alrighty. Thank you all for being here, for asking your questions. I appreciate you. See you next week, same time, lunchtime, immigration Q&A. Let's go. All right. Bye.